Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. So today's episode is going to be another discussion, and it's going to talk about the pussification of prepping and or preppers. So I came out with this idea for this video because I started seeing a lot of, I guess, soft exercises or activities involving prepping. Now, by no means am I saying, today, get in your car with your bug out bag and survive in the wilderness for, a week or two. No. But if you're going to practice prepping, if you're going to practice your outdoor skills, you have to get outdoors, right? You have to get out there and understand the wilderness. You have to understand your environment, the weather, what the landscape looks like when it rains and or snows. So you have to get out there in the most uncomfortable environment and get to know it, right? So that being said, there's a couple groups that started here in New York City just recently. One here in New York City, there's another one in Jersey. Both of them are not willing to do the exercises it takes to prep, if you will, right? So meaning they're not going to go out there and do bug out weekends and get dirty. They're not going to go out there in the wintertime, pitch a tent or build a shelter and survive in that shelter overnight. Now, prepping is not just preparing for a disaster to happen. The way I run the group is you learn survival skills in case you get stuck out in the wilderness as well, right? So it's not just pertaining to zombie apocalypse or an epidemic or some kind of bad earthquake. It's just skills that you probably might need sometime in your lifetime if you go outdoors a lot, right? So we teach a variety of skills within the NYC Preppers Network. The other groups that started, I hate to call them out on it, but I am. They're posers. They're posing in the worst way because all they're doing is making it a meeting ground for other preppers, but they're not exploring their skills. They're not honing their skills. They're not toughening themselves to what it would be like to be in a shitty situation, right? So a couple of us in this group, we've done that. We put ourselves in shitty situations that really didn't need to be, but nonetheless, we tested our skills. We tested our survival skills. We tested our patience with being out there. We tested our level of dealing with cold. How cold can it get before we crack and leave, right? And we've gotten down to, I think the coldest was minus 20 degrees, right? Or minus 21, something like that. That was probably 3 years ago in the Catskills. So now I know where my threshold is with a lot of shit, right? And a couple of us know where our threshold is. But if you're going to start a group, your group has to be able to do the dirty shit. You have to be able to put yourselves in a shitty situation. You have to be able to come out on the other end going, man, that sucked ass, but I learned X, Y, and Z, right? So the other thing with going out there is you always have to learn something coming back home. You can't just go out there and make it a camping trip and call yourself a prepper group, because then all you are is a camping group, right? Making filet mignons and shrimp scampi and all of those nice little meals are great if you're doing a gathering. But if you are doing a bug out weekend, who the hell eats filet mignon on the bug out weekend, right? Who is going to eat a filet mignon bugging out? So, I mean, unless you have that kind of packing skills and your meat salted or whatever it is, maybe. But to be realistic, are you really going to set up that grill and fire and eat like that while you're bugging out when you're trying to get to point A to point B? No, you're not, right? So you can't have a group that's not going to get dirty, is not going to get it done. There are a lot of prepper groups that started out here like that, and they all failed, all right? They didn't get the job done. They didn't do what the customers wanted or the members wanted, sorry. They did the easy route, the easy shit, right? And in my group, we started doing the easy shit. Well, actually, we did some of the easy shit, and I got tired of it. Now, I don't run the group like a military personnel. We don't get up at the crack of dawn and cracking the whip and all that crazy shit. But I do try to test the members in a way that if you end up in this situation, you're going to be able to handle it, right? Just don't panic and you'll figure it out. But again, the two groups that started out here, there's one downtown, they're just going to sit around in a room and talk about prepping. But you can't talk about it all the time. You have to initiate some of these exercises. You actually have to get outdoor and be cold, get wet, get a little nervous. I mean, this is what prepping is. Prepping is far beyond staying home and just, waiting for a disaster to happen. Prepping is also getting your skills honed in so that if you have to actually use it, you can, and you could do it without missing a beat. So, that being said, there are also a lot of other preppers online, either YouTube or run a blog, who don't get dirty. They don't get it done. They sit there and they pretend. They go in their backyard. When I mean their backyard, they probably go like, 20, 30 yards into the brush line, and then that's their bug out weekend. It's not how it works, right? You got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. It's just that simple. And I learned that from a bunch of ex-Navy SEALs. When Navy SEALs or Special Forces train, they put themselves in shady situations because that is the situation they're going to end up in. At least with them, that is going to happen to them. They're going to be in a shitty situation. With us, I do get the other side of the coin of not wanting to practice your skills that hard or put yourselves in that kind of a situation, because we as preppers, campers, outdoorsmen are less likely to be in that situation. But nonetheless, you can end up in that situation if you're an avid outdoors person, right? So that being said, if you look at some of my outdoor videos, you see that I put myself in a shitty situation, night after night, and it sucked. That was another rant about the pussification of prepping. You guys are going to see it. Be careful with the groups you join. All right, do your research on the groups. Make sure you know the background of the members when you're joining their group. Just don't join a group because you're like, oh, another prepper group close to home. Yes, they could be close to home, but just do your research. Pay attention to what they do, how they move, and what they say. That is the most important thing you can do. I'm not saying don't join any of these groups like the guys downtown, the guys in Jersey. I am not saying don't join them. What I'm saying is pay close attention to what they say and how they move. That's going to give you a hint on what they're really about and what they're willing to do. All right, guys, so this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching. You can like and subscribe to this channel. All right, guys, thank you for watching.